Mabuhay! Kumusta mga kababayan? Welcome to another video about DDK tutorial. This will be the 14th of the series of videos about DDK blockchain and DDKoin cryptocurrency. Mga kababayan, we have reached this far and we hope that you have learned a lot from the first 13 videos. So if you have questions and clarification, kindly leave us a comment. Mga kababayan, so we can help inspire and create more videos, please subscribe and leave us a thumbs up. Again, we'd like to mention that the main objective of this video is to provide tutorial and not to provide any financial advices. Remember that with blockchain and cryptocurrency, having been decentralized in nature, you and you alone are responsible to your own assets. So, for this video, we will be explaining DDK Block Generation and the block reduction, or what we call halving, because just recently we've heard that DDK's staking reward will be soon reduced to 8% based on the timeline or calculated block generated. So it was written kasi in the smart contract that at a certain period of let's say 1 year, after a year, DDK staking reward will be reduced by 2% from 10% to 8%. So we would like everyone else to understand why is it that after 2 years, because when DDK was launched in 2018, that was September. So etong parating na September, DDK will be already 2 years after the first decentralization. So why is it that after 2 years and not after a year, hindi pa rin nagbabago yung 10% and we are still enjoying the 10% staking reward? So we'll be glad to explain how is it computed, and we will help everyone else basically understand what is block generation and what is block reduction or DDK halving. So, mga kababayan, if you notice in the Explorer 2.0, there is a particular button here that actually brings you to the all blocks or the number of height or block ID that is being generated at a certain period of time. If you can check, let's say here, so you have the time here 14 seconds ago, 25 seconds ago. So ang gagawin lang natin, we will help everyone else understand why is block generation important and in what height will DDKoin decrease from 10% staking reward to 8% and so on. So we will go back to the booklet that has been provided by the management, particularly on page 2, explaining what is DDK halving and block reduction. So DDK halving or block reduction refers to a process that reduces the issuance rate of the staking rewards. You see, we all know that DDK has this smart contract that generates asset every time you stake a particular DD coin, and every time you stake and do voting, every fourth vote, an asset is issued through a staking reward based on the number of DDK that has been staked. So dito, it was mentioned that more precisely, halving is the periodical reduction of block subsidy provided to miners or stakeholders. In our case, we are all stakeholders. Every time we stake a DDK asset. So the halving process ensures that the staking rewards will follow each steady issuance rate until its maximum supply is eventually reached. Remember that the maximum supply of DDK is 45 million, and the mining supply is around 41 million. So how to calculate DDK block halving or block reduction? Remember that DDK staking rewards will experience its halving on 3,000. We have to recompute this because we found out that 8,640 times 365 is actually equivalent to 3,000 or 3,153,000. So you have to insert 3 here. 600 blocks. So as you can see, staking reward, we are actually enjoying 10% staking reward for every DDK that we stake, and that is scheduled to reduce after a year. So paano ba na-compute yung 1 year? Provided that we actually reach the maximum capacity of DDK blockchain, which generates 1 block for every 10 seconds. So ibig sabihin nito, every minute 6 blocks are being created. So this is the ideal capacity or capability of DDK blockchain. It's easy to understand that 1 hour you can generate 6 times 60, so that is 360 blocks. And for 1 day, 360 blocks times 24 hours, that would be 8,640 blocks. And as mentioned earlier, when we use our calculator, 8,640 times 365, that would be, this is for the correction of what was reflected here, it's actually 3,153,600 blocks, meaning the first DDK block halving will occur once the block reach 3,153,000, that is a correction, 153,600 blocks. So if we are going to check the current block generated by the DDK blockchain, it's actually 2,640,167. Later on, we've read a particular post by one of the stakeholder explaining as to when will the next or when the DDK halving will happen this year. But before that, we'd like to help everyone else check the white paper of DDKoin explaining further about DDK block generation and block reduction. So here in the white paper, page 58, so nandito yung block generation. So a block or a blockchain consists of a series of blocks that are linked together in an orderly sequence, hence the name blockchain. So dito galing yung term na blockchain technology, because it consists of a series of blocks that are linked together. Kaya sabi nga natin, medyo pag nagkamali ka ng transaction, hindi na pwedeng balikan because those blocks are already generated, and you will be requiring all the stakeholder or all the miners and all those linked to this particular blockchain na sama-samang balikan yon if may mga pagkakamali. So a block is a structure of data that consists of 1, a list of transactions, and 2, a block header or a metadata that contains a specific set of information about the block. So, alam natin na si blockchain is a ledger of all list of transactions that has been done inside the blockchain. So, dito pinaliwanag din yung block header consists of the following data information. So, si DDK has the size of each block ranges from 300 KB to 1 MB. This is because the block stores the transactions in the form of hashes which are of the type string. So dito binanggit din kung anong klaseng data type meron ng mga particular item like block version, timestamp, and all. No, and nandito rin yung size. How is block generated? We'd mentioned in the previous video that DDK blockchain uses DPoS consensus mechanism or consensus algorithm. So in DDK, block generation happens through the DPoS, where every block generation happens through a delegate that has been given the permission to generate blocks by the election process. Remember, if every time we vote, we select a particular delegate or trusted or TD, trusted delegate, who has the permission to generate blocks and process all the transaction that has been done in the blockchain. When a candidate becomes a delegate by getting the most number of votes through DPoS or consensus, he will be assigned the unvalidated transactions from the transaction pool. Each block can contain a maximum of 25 transactions in it, meaning yung isang block na na-generate has a maximum of 25 transactions doon sa block na yon. Tandaan din natin na this block, yung current na DDK blockchain, has the capability to create one block every 10 seconds, meaning yung binanggit dito, if you can if a one block has a maximum of 2.5 transactions in it, and nalaman natin na yung one block is 10 seconds, meaning ang capacity talaga or capability talaga ng blockchain na to is to create 25 transactions containing one block every 10 seconds, meaning every 1 second the DDK blockchain can actually generate 2.5 transaction per second. So madali lang intindihin yon by mathematics, mga kababayan. So 25 isang block, tapos 10 seconds yung capability ng blockchain. So ang capability ng blockchain is to create 2.5 transactions per seconds. Ganon kabilis. And later on, we will find out na currently hindi talaga nami-meet nung mga user yung maximum capacity or capability of DDK blockchain because hindi natin talaga na-generate or we were not able to generate 6 blocks every minute. So later on, malalaman natin what is the current rate of block generation during this time, itong mga panahon na to. So si block propagation naman takes place when a block is created and broadcasted to all existing nodes on the network to establish consensus. Remember, kahit anong gamitin nating link, yun pa rin yung makikita nating status ng ating account because kahit sabay-sabay tayo magbukas nun, so yung na-create na block are regularly broadcasted and nakikita natin yung mga changes that has been done for any transaction inputted dun sa ating blockchain. Once generated, a block is broadcasted to peers which broadcast the block to other peers on the network. In this way, the block propagates through the whole network so that all the existing nodes can update and make consensus. Otherwise, the system would grind to a halt and the blockchain would cease to be functional. So, ganun kaganda itong blockchain. once na pinapapropagate yung blocks through the whole network. So lahat na ng mga existing nodes can actually update and make consensus. Pare-pareho tayo ng nakikita. So the consensus algorithm that is being used for DDK blockchain is what we call DPoS, or delegated proof of stake. So we are staking, and there is a trusted delegate who manages or process the transactions that has been done by all stakeholders. So as the consensus system of the chain, the delegates are the nodes that have the ability to generate blocks. The delegates are selected by rigorous voting between the stakeholders. So currently we are voting every week, and every fourth vote we get our staking reward. In DDK, the delegates ranks depends on the vote count. Per vote count is the only one vote per account. So ayun, mapapansin ninyo, meron tayong delegate and meron voting mechanism. Voting mechanism is actually 4 times in a month. So you vote for the first week, and then after 7 days you vote again, and on after 7 days you do your third vote, and on the another 7 days you will have your fourth vote, and then you will earn 10% staking reward. So sa voting scenario dito, for example, you miss the 7 days of voting. So you vote on the first week, and then after 7 days you have vote your second vote, but you missed to vote on the third week. Rather, it took you 10 days to vote again. That will be counted as your third vote, and if you miss again the additional 7 days, and it took you 12 days after your third vote has been done, so ang pag-earn na ninyo ng inyong 10% will be on the 5th week, kung saan kayo papuntang 5th week, kung saan kayo nagkaroon ng 4th vote. So ganun lang kadali yung consensus algorithm na to. So tiyakin lang that you can vote, religiously vote every 7 days. Palalagpasin nyo lang yung minuto. For example, you are scheduled to vote 4:56 p.m. What you can do is to actually vote at 5:01. So magbigay lang kayo ng allowance ng 5 minutes. As mentioned, the staking rewards for the first year, or after you reach the 3 million, can we go back there? 3,153,600 blocks. If you reach that block generation or generated blocks, so mag-re-reduce na ng 8% yung ating staking reward. So what is good about reducing yung tinatawag nating staking reward? That would be tantamount to reducing the supply that is being generated. So mababawasan yung capacity or yung amount of the circulating supply. So you know very easily with supply and demand, kapag mas konti yung supply at mataas yung demand, that will increase the value or the price of a product. So ganun ang mangyayari sa block generation. So yung kalahati ng 3,153,600. So after na madagdag uli yung blocks na yun, ma-generate uli yung kalahati nun, magiging 6% na siya, magiging 4%, and so on. So yun nga, pag napansin niyo, stakeholders stake their DDKoins on the platform and gets 10% on the stake amount after every 6 months for 1 year. After that, the percentage reward will deplete by 2% every month, and it will stop decreasing when it reach at 2%. So yung mga bagong stakeholders, huwag kayong malungkot that the staking rewards will be reduced by 2% every 6 months. If you reduce the supply, so pwedeng mag-increase naman yung price ng DDK, and that would be a win-win situation for all the stakeholders. Okay? So I hope you understand that. So this is already DAI. So anong kagandahan ng DPoS that was mentioned here as part of the consensus mechanism or algorithm? So dito, it was discussed how delegated proof of stake was chosen over other consensus algorithm. So alam natin na ang inadapt nga ng DDK is the delegated proof of stake, which is a mechanism adapted to secure a cryptocurrency network. So it implements a layer of democracy to mitigate the negative effects of centralization. Ito yung mga rationale why DDK chose to use DPoS. So it maximizes the dividend share of stakeholders, minimize the cost required to make network secure, of course, yung ating power cost and all kapag ka naka-proof of work tayo. And ito actually, it saves a lot of time for all the stakeholders because you don't have to spend a lot of time processing mathematical algorithm just to get your reward. Dito, boboto ka lang, pili ka ng delegated or trusted delegate, and after your fourth vote, you get your 10%. That's easy. So we call it a passive way of income while we are not yet familiar with trading our cryptocurrency. So maximize the performance of network members. Konti ng downtime ng DDK blockchain. It's a very, very good technology. Minimize the cost of running network by being cost and energy efficient as mentioned earlier. So si shareholders remain in control just like any other successful cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Si DDKoin is a very decentralized type of cryptocurrency. So si stakeholder has all the freedom to on what he would want to do with this asset pertaining to DDKoin. In DDK, every coin holder on the platform staking DDKoin in their account is a stakeholder, and they can show their participation by voting or choosing the delegates. The delegate is actually a democratically elected stakeholder who is given trusted position to manage the transactions of the platform. So I will be sharing an Excel that we have copied from one of the stakeholder showing yung kasalukuyang performance ng DDK blockchain when it comes to block creation, no? So welcome dito sa recorded na performance ng blockchain generation. The last record that was set was 2 days ago, July 30, 2020, and the current blocks generated is 2,632,152. So earlier, we mentioned na ang na-generate na current generate na block is 2,640,218. So 2,640, so medyo mga 8,000 na ang na-generate niya for 2 days. So true enough, ang percentage ng daily average ng generation nito, kung mapapansin niyo, ay nasa 0.15%. So kung titingnan natin yung equivalent na number of blocks generated o average generated per day, ay nasa, yung huli ay nasa 4,625. And if we will check yung average niya since we started monitoring this on May 8, nasa average ng 5,000 almost 5,000 blocks per day. So kinuha din namin yung per minute. Kung mapapansin niyo, The average per minute is actually nasa almost 3.5. Remember that earlier we've shown you na siya ay may capacity to actually create 6 blocks per minute. Pero dito, we can only or we manage only to generate 3.5. So that's far away from 6 blocks per minute. Dito nasa 3.5 blocks lang per minute. That's the same reason na supposedly yung DDK halving should happen in first year kung mamaksa na natin yung capacity at yung capability niya. Hence, it was the same reason na yung next halving is actually set pa projected to set or to happen on November 10, 2020. So, pag nangyari yon kasi we have 17.51% left of 3,153,600. So that would be around or more than 110 days to go bago mabawasan yung 10% at magiging 8% na lang yung ating staking reward. So going back to the booklet for ARP, so kailan nga ulit mangyayari yung DDK halving or block reduction? So around more than 110 days or around November 10 of this year. So samantalayin na natin that even before the 10% reduced to 8% staking reward, so let's all stake and then get our share, our small share of the available staking reward that we have, so we can experience getting a free DDK. As we all know, the price of DDK has already reached $7.343. So, mga kababayan, maraming salamat sa ginawa ninyong pakikinig. We hope that you have somehow understand kung ano yung tinutukoy na DDK block halving at paano nagge-generate ng blocks niya si DDK. So, kung nagustuhan ninyo ang video ito, mga kababayan, please leave us a thumbs up at sana ay pakiclick din ang mga bells so that wala kayong ma-miss na mga bagong videos na pwede ninyong mapanood at mapakinabangan. This is a Blockstream and we would like to stream the future and actually guide every one of you in your own DDK blockchain and DDKoin cryptocurrency journey. So keep on staking mga kababayan. Maraming salamat.